players may feel a bit nervous, a bit more anxious when they're entering such a big tournament. And here it's important for us to normalize this feeling that it's okay to feel a bit nervous. It's not the best idea to say, oh, there's nothing to worry about, don't feel anxious. Why are you feeling anxious? Because this can actually make players feel unprepared. They may feel a bit helpless, that they should be relaxed, but they don't know how to. So here is where the role of you as a coach becomes so important. Remember that each player is different. So look back, jog your memory, and notice how each player copes with pressure differently. What does each player like to do? How do they zone in before the match? Do some players prefer to be quiet, be a bit more isolated? Do some players prefer to be a bit more excited, crack a few jokes, like to talk more before the match? So notice this and tailor your approach differently based on your athlete. It's a good idea to help your athlete develop a pre-game routine. A lot of anxiety builds up when we're waiting for the match to start, not when we're actually playing. So in that time, if we can keep the player engaged, doing something, whether it's their warm-up or any other activity that keeps them mentally engaged, that's something that's going to help control the nerves a little bit. Here it's also important that we don't give very complicated instructions and or vague instructions. And this is both in the match and before the match as well. We need to give simple, clear instructions. So rather than saying just relax, where the player may feel confused and may not know how to, let's give them a direction. Let's tell them, okay, take a deep breath. Okay, shadow your service. Okay, just feel yourself in the moment. Get ready. Feel your foot on the block. All of these are different ways, but they are simple, clear instructions so that the player doesn't feel helpless, so that they know exactly what you want them to do. Before going into the game, remind them of their strength, remind them of the efforts they've put in, of the training that they've done. What we need to not do is put expectations on them of what you expect them to achieve because that can become a big burden for a player to carry. Remind them to focus on the process, the skills that they've learned, the technique, the mindset that they need to go with. Encourage them to not focus on the results because results are not in their control and they can actually put a lot more pressure. Remind your athlete to have fun when they're out there and enjoy the game. Most of all, remember that you are probably one of the most important people in an athlete's life. And athletes aren't just scared of winning and losing because of medals. What's probably more important for most of our athletes is to not disappoint the people who support them and who care for them. So before the athlete goes into the match, take a moment to remind them that you're proud of them for whatever they have done, irrespective of the result of what may happen.